What's up, everyone? Welcome to Season 1, Episode 15 of the originals, Le Grand Guignol, brought to you by the As Seen on TV podcast.
Okay, apparently that is how you pronounce that.
Yeah, what now? What now? Boom.
I don't know, it's French. I don't know French.
Boom, I got my French down.
Mm.
Yeah, you made fun of me during our preview for one of the other episodes. I don't remember what it was called now. But then, when the episode actually aired, I nailed it, and now my French is perfect. I speak it fluently. Je m'appelle Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Je suis Mike.
Mm-mm.
Je t'adore. Je the window. I don't care. Yeah. So what'd you think of this episode?
I thought this episode was interesting. Definitely a couple fun things happened, like Bastiana getting her head ripped off. Didn't see that coming.
No.
Didn't see that coming. I
No.
expected her to be one of the last ones of them to die, but
Yeah. But apparently not.
yep.
So the episode starts off with Elijah pulling the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Did you expect this to be something that could be removed so easily?
Um, I honestly no, I didn't expect it to be that easy to remove at all because I mean it's magical, supposed to be stuck in there and causing him untold pain and horror and anguish and suffering. You would think there'd be some kind of failsafe to prevent one of his siblings from pulling it out of him.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it would do untold horror and pain and suffering if you can just remove it on your own.
Well, I think he's pretty much debilitated.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not on your own, but like
Mm.
your family. Like you figured there'd be some kind of failsafe in there that they couldn't do that.
Yeah, definitely failsafe. Gotta be. Why
Yeah.
not? I would make it. I would do it.
Yeah, so
Not even a witch.
this episode we finally got to see Mikael in some flashbacks. Some new flashbacks, I should say.
Yeah. I'm happy they got the actor to come back for
as-
that because it's awesome.
As much as they were expecting it, I didn't think they were actually going to be any new scenes with him.
Well, surprise.
Yeah, so what did you think of those scenes?
I liked them a lot. I was hoping that they'd find some way to bring him back from the dead. But I don't know. I mean, I guess this is good enough. We got some backstory, some scenes. Turns out that, he's a total dick to Klaus. Just, I don't know, put myself in those shoes. My wife cheated on me with a kid, had a kid with another guy, and I raised it as my own, not knowing for how many years. I honestly don't know what I would do after that.
Yeah, I don't know
But
either.
I think he's going above and beyond, really.
Yeah, seeing him in action just made me miss his character on Supernatural that much more. Sebastian Roach. Who did he play? It was Balthazar, I believe it was.
Balthazar in Supernatural, yeah.
Yeah, it made me realize how much I actually missed that character. So just getting to see him a little bit in the originals. Also, there's kind of some cross news here. Mentioned it on our Supernatural podcast, but I just wanted to mention it here. The actor that plays Cole is also going to be in the Supernatural spinoff. So we're going to see that actor from the originals world. Even though he was only in the pilot episode as a dead corpse, we get to see him at least in another show, and he was actually on Pretty Little Liars this past week as well. And I think he's got one more episode in him from Pretty Little Liars. So that actor's also been getting around. So it's good to see, even though they may not have full parts on the show, it's good to see them around in some of the other shows that we watch anyway. But through these flashbacks, we kind of learned why Klaus was so upset at Rebecca now. Because I'm like, well, how upset are you going to be? Because Michael's dead. Like, yeah, this kind of caused a lot of stuff, but it's in the past now at this point.
Yeah, but
But then we learned that Klaus actually gave Rebecca and Marcel their blessing,
his
and
blessing, yeah.
yeah, his blessing, and then to find out that after doing that, Michael comes to town, even though they set this up prior to it. But after giving the blessing and then Michael coming to town and then finding out that they are the reason why Michael came to town, I could kind of understand
Yeah.
Klaus's rage a little bit better.
And Klaus left what he was finally happy, and he had to leave and run. He thought Marcel was dead as a doornail.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
How do you think Marcel survived that?
No idea.
It looks like they started the fire at the stage where Marcel was pinned.
Mm-hmm. So he would have been one of the first to die. I'm not sure how he got out of there. I'm sure it'll be revealed at some point. But, Klaus had to leave. He was finally happy at home. He had to run because, their father found him. Said he was going to burn down and destroy everything he built. Islands is on fire. Marcel's dead. However, it took him decades to find out Marcel wasn't dead, right?
Yeah.
I think.
It wasn't until they went back to New Orleans, I believe.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of his grief and anguish for the past 80 years, all because of his sister.
Yeah.
And he was willing to let it slide. Like, the whole reason they summoned Michael, they didn't need to. That was a gigantic kick in the ass, I think, for them.
Yeah. I don't know, like, Klaus was always portrayed to be, like, the evil brother in this, but is he really that evil? Like, he's seeking revenge on stuff that I almost feel he's entitled to at this point. Maybe not as extreme, because something that we just recently were talking about, I don't remember if it was on our Vampire Diary podcast or if it was on our Originals podcast, but we were wondering what happened to the indestructible white oak stake.
Klaus hid it in a marble statue.
Sure enough, here it appears.
Yeah.
So the last time we saw this was on season 4, episode 19 of the Vampire Diaries. So it's been almost a year now.
Okay.
Since we've seen the stake. It was given to Elijah, last I remember, and apparently Elijah has given it to Klaus. So Klaus had it hidden away in this marble statue, and his plan is to kill Rebecca. In the meantime, Marcel and Rebecca try to run ahead and kill the witches to resurrect Davina. In the process, Bastiana gets killed. Genevieve actually lives. So we find out that Bastiana was tied to Davina, which is lucky on their part because they get Davina, which is what they ultimately wanted. Having Genevieve around still is some complication in all this, but at least they have Davina back. But yes. Do you think that that's going to mean Genevieve is going to be around for a while and be the ultimate villain the rest of this season anyway?
We thought it was going to be Celeste, right?
Yeah, but
and it's like finally we got a major villain, and now that was 3 episodes ago we said that.
Yeah, but Celeste appears to be dead now.
I guess Genevieve is going to be the next Maybe they're going to deal with Genevieve, or Genevieve is just going to go into hiding, and the next major villain is going to wind up being Klaus again.
Who knows? Like, if you follow the Vampire Diaries in this this season especially, and I don't want to mention anything in case you don't and you didn't watch that episode yet, but just when you start to think you know who the villain is, it gets switched up so quickly. Like, this particular season of the Vampire Diaries, we've had 5 potential people that we thought was going to be the overarching villain, and it's almost as if none of them actually are. But
one of them lasted a while.
Yeah, but we won't talk about that, so you guys can catch up on that if you haven't already. But So Haley, last episode, she clocked Sabine over the head with a baseball bat. She took Celeste into the bayou. Sabine is Celeste, for those that may not be completely. The cure for the werewolf clan. Um, kind of like it's nothing. Do you think that the cure is actually going to work? She gave her reasoning to Elijah why it would. But I don't know.
I'm silent on this one because things like this in this, the Vampire Diaries universe, you never know because they don't keep a consistent track record with this stuff. Either, like, they say it's going to work, so it's going to work, or they say it's going to work, but it's not going to work because they're a conniving bastard. But then it's going to work anyway because they want you to still think that you're a conniving bastard, or think it and do something wrong and fuck the whole thing up, but it would have worked in the first place anyway. And you just keep going back and forth like this over and over again. So I don't fucking know.
I think my head hurts just about as much as yours right now.
I have no idea if it's going to work. I mean, sure, it could. Theoretically, it possibly could. But it's that whole thing. You can go back and forth with reasoning, and you'll wind up in a circle going around and around. It's going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to work. It's not going to work. So the only way we're going to know is when they take it.
Yeah, so we have about a month left to find out.
So I want to say it's going to work. I don't know.
How long do you think it's going to be before a month progresses story-wise?
I don't know. 2 episodes, season finale. Fuck if I know. I really don't know.
I don't know. I'd say at the most the season. At the least, probably 2 or 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. I'd say 2 to 3 episodes. Okay, earliest, we'll say 3 episodes. Latest, season finale.
Yeah. As we mentioned, Celeste is supposedly dead now.
Dead.
Were you surprised that Monique turned on Celeste so quickly? I mean, she just turned on her Aunt Sophie for Celeste, and now she turns on Celeste for Elijah, which is supposed to be her enemy.
Well, Elijah put a very convincing thing.
Planted a seed.
He planted a very convincing seed. Yes, exactly. Because the whole reason Monique turned on her Aunt Sophie was because, like, Sophie wasn't consistent. Like, seemed duplicitous to Monique, at least, in her eyes. So Elijah plants that seed that, yeah, that's great. She says she's going to do all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. She's lying, and here's this, like, he plants that seed. And so Monique keeps her eye out. And then as soon as Monique sees, he was right. Well, damn. That sucks. I guess I'll have to screw her over then. So, I mean, it was effective ploy by Elijah. It wound up working.
Yeah, and then it's a little ironic that she died with the very dagger that she used to resurrect everybody to achieve in the first place.
Yeah, that's the kind of irony I like.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Is it even irony? I don't know. I like it.
Do you think she's actually dead, though?
Yes. I think so.
You don't think she body jumped somehow?
No. I think she was ready to body jump, and then Monique hijacked that. I don't think she had enough time to prepare another body jump. Because she woke up in her body, confused as hell, and was dead 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
I don't think she had the time to concentrate or focus or do what she needed to do. So I think she's dead. Could she be resurrected? Of course she could be, because what fun would this universe be if she couldn't? But for now...
Can't the dead just stay dead?
Apparently not.
So... Celeste ended up putting a spell on the cemetery, which bound them all, who bound all the original vampires that entered.
They could enter, but they can't leave.
Yes, bound them in there until the next moon. Correct? It was a lunar.
No, it's a lunar spell, and She just said it's a lunar spell. It'll be over soon. I'm guessing it's the same thing that what's her name? Ketsia?
Ketsia?
Ketsia. There we go. The same thing she put on the house to keep Stefan trapped in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was bound to the sun, so as soon as the sun set, it was over. So I'm guessing as soon as the moon goes, you know, below the horizon, it's over.
Yeah. So, we end the episode. Klaus enters the cemetery. He's staring Rebecca down, holding the white oak, the indestructible white oak stake. They're all bound into the graveyard till at least the morning, like we're assuming. Elijah's in there as well, and he kind of stands between Rebecca and Klaus. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Elijah's going to talk him down? Do you think Rebecca's going to get staked? What do you think? What do you think's going to happen here?
I don't think they're going to kill off any of these characters. I mean, not yet, anyway. It's going to be a while. But right now, they're going to fight. Someone's going to get partially staked and seriously injured, but not killed. And, you know, like staked through the gut or something. And there's going to be talking, there's going to be crying, there's going to be fighting. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't think Elijah's going to talk Klaus down.
Is he going to be laughing?
I don't know. I mean, we're assuming that no, I don't think anybody's dead. I mean, Klaus isn't going to die. If Klaus dies, then half the cast of Vampire Diaries dies with him.
Yeah, so Klaus.
So we've already discussed that.
Klaus can't die, but
I mean, he can't die.
Rebecca
for
and
story
Elijah
reasons.
can.
Right, exactly. I mean, Rebecca and Elijah. We don't know of any major characters tied to them, like who were turned by, you know, who were like trace their vampire lineage back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they could safely get away with that. I don't know if any of them are going to die just yet. I think it's a bit too early in a series, especially because they got renewed for a season 2. I don't think they're going to kill any of them off that quickly.
Yeah.
I want to say that, but, you know, shit, next week, you know, stake through Rebecca and she's on fire, or they can't kill off Elijah. Everybody loves Elijah.
Everybody loves Rebecca,
Elijah.
too. Show would be a little boring without a female protagonist.
Story would be boring without any of them.
They could get away without Elijah if they had to.
I don't think so. I like Elijah a lot.
So do I, but I mean, they could get away with it.
All right, I guess they could get away with it technically.
So, I don't know. Next episode, I don't know what it's called, but I'm so good at this. But they are. I'll find the episode title in a second. They're trapped in the city of the dead. Despite Klaus's rage, Elijah is determined to protect Rebecca, while the three of them are trapped in the city of the dead cemetery by a witch's boundary spell. Klaus and Rebecca trade bitter accusations until Elijah steps in to reveal a long-held secret from the family's past. Dun dun dun.
Oh boy.
What do you have any idea what
No.
the secret could possibly be?
From the family's past, they're 1,000 years old. It could be anything. It could be from when they were little kids. It could be when they were first turned. It could be something that happened in the 12th century. I mean, I don't know. Or it could be something that happened in 1919 or 1920 or whatever it was when, you know, Mikael came to town.
Mm-hmm.
There, or I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know. My browser froze and crashed, so I'm not going to be able to find the title of the episode. It also says. Meanwhile, Marcel races to free Rebecca, ultimately finding himself forced to make a deal with Genevieve. And finally, Rebecca and Haley connect. Okay, so Rebecca's not dead. Rebecca and Haley connect over their shared concern for Haley's unborn baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Indeed. So, you looking forward to this episode?
I quite certainly am. I'm looking forward to see how. I want to know what the hell the long-held family secret is.
I know. That's going to be interesting. So,
It's going to be very interesting.
Yes, the episode is called Farewell to Storyville.
Okay, there you go.
So,
I was looking for it, and I'm like...
I unfortunately had to use a different browser to find this. Internet Explorer. Yeah, who uses that anymore? I know, it's taboo. It's almost like a boundary spell to a cemetery.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Yes. Yeah, I think that about does it. Mike, where can the people find you and your lovely Coca-Cola?
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Bruh.
The
Twitter.
bubbles got to your nose?
No. I just, like, went... like that. I went dumb. Anyway. They can find me on Twitter at Thilladren. THILLADREN.
You can find me at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
And you can find us both and others on tvcaptive.com as well as on YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and Twitter at ASOTV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Yeah, so until next week, see you guys later.
Bye!
Stick a dagger in you.
Why?
I don't know. Seems like it would be fun.